Thank you for joining us on Business Now. My name is Uchechukwu Onodo. In a portentous tribute to President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to infrastructure upgrade, the Second Niger Bridge has been officially renamed as Muhammadu Buhari's Second Niger Bridge by the federal government and Southeast governors. However, reactions have continued to trail the announcement by Nigerians. Dennis Ofik has details on this report.
Bridge, a federal government project with enormous economic potential. It is 1.6 kilometers long. The bridge was first proposed during the 1958-1969 political campaign by then candidate Shehu Francis Pastor of the National Party of Nigeria, NPN. In 1987, after warning about the state of the existing River Niger Bridge by the then Minister for Works and Housing, Abubakar Umar, General Ibrahim Babangida challenged the local engineers to design the Second Niger Bridge. Under subsequent military and civilian governments, the project received little attention. In August 2012, the Federal Executive Council under Jonathan's administration approved a contract worth 325 million naira for the final planning and design of the bridge. The groundbreaking ceremony first took place on the 10th of March 2014, built at a cost of over 390 billion naira. The bridge was fully opened to motorists on May 15.
My own opinion is not good. You understand? It's not good, but let's just accept, because now I cannot change this.
Why renaming it? What's the essence? What impact does that have on our economy, on the people for the 8 years that this person has ruled? So who is deceiving who?
They have to name the bridge after him, because it's one that started the project and complete the project. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It's good. All what we are after is it should be one Nigeria.
They should just leave it as Second Niger Bridge, just like that. First Niger Bridge, Second Niger Bridge. It's okay like that for us.
One of the objectives of the bridge is to minimize traffic congestion on the old Niger Bridge and to strengthen connectivity in the entire southeast region, create economic viability, and create job opportunities for local residents. All this seems to be the thoughts of Nigerians. Dennis Ofik for iBrandTV News.
The World Bank has announced that the COVID-19 Action, Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program aimed at improving the livelihood of poor Nigerians has been extended for another period of 12 months. A representative and task team lead of the bank made the disclosure while speaking at a maiden ministerial town hall meeting for beneficiaries held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The NG Cares program is a World Bank support initiative aimed at responding to the COVID-19 crisis by restoring the livelihoods and food security of poor and vulnerable households and promoting recovery of MSEs in the country. To facilitate the smooth takeoff of the program, the federal government disbursed a one-off recoverable advance of 35.3 billion naira to all the 36 states and the FCT in March 2022. The federal government is holding this meeting with beneficiaries across the Southwest and Kwara State to know how this program has impacted their lives. In his address, representatives of the World Bank announced that the program has been extended for another 12 years to allow the registration of more Nigerians below the poverty line. Beneficiaries of the program who lauded the initiative believe that the intervention came at the appropriate time. So far, the program has produced results valued at 77.2 billion naira, impacting over 2 million direct beneficiaries. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, on Wednesday said that the Dangote Refinery will be persuaded to sell foreign exchange earnings to banks at a good rate. Speaking at the end of the 291st Monetary Policy Committee meeting in Abuja, Emefiele said his team would engage the promoter of the refinery, Alhaji Dangote, to ensure that Nigerians benefit from the venture, adding that the CBN, the federal government, and indeed the country helped him set up the refinery. The CBN boss expressed optimism that the refinery would ease the foreign exchange scarcity in the country, noting that with local refining, about 20% cost of the total cost of importing petroleum products will be saved, thereby reducing prices in the long run. He, however, said it was time to exit the fuel subsidy regime. Nigeria's gross domestic product GDP growth rate fell to 2.31% in the first quarter of 2023, which is the lowest in 8 quarters. The decline also represented 80 basis points year-on-year decline from the 3.11% recorded in the first quarter of 2022. The decline in GDP growth reflects the severe impact of cash crunch that constrained economic activities in the first quarter of 2023. The National Bureau of Statistics disclosed this in its GDP report for first quarter 2023, adding that the reduction in growth is attributed to the adverse effect of the cash crunch experienced during the quarter. Giving the breakdowns, the Bureau stated the performance of the GDP in the first quarter was driven mainly by services sector, which recorded a growth of 4.35% and contributed 57.29% to the aggregate GDP. The oil sector contributed 6.21% to the total real GDP in first quarter, down from the figure recorded in the corresponding period of 2022 and up from the preceding quarter where it contributed 6.63% and 4.34% respectively. However, the non-oil sector grew QOQ quarter-on-quarter by 2.77% in real terms in the first quarter of 2023 and went down by 1.67% points from 4.44% in the fourth quarter of 2022. According to NBS, in real terms, the non-oil sector contributed 93.79% to the nation's GDP in the first quarter of 2023, which is higher than the share recorded in the first quarter of 2022, which was 93.37%, and lower than the fourth quarter of 2022, recorded at 95.56%. In its efforts to protect the industry from substandard products, cable manufacturers in Nigeria has evolved self-regulatory measures to comply with set standards. Speaking to newsmen in Lagos, President of Cable Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Carman Bukola Adubi, said the industry operators now monitor one another while protecting the industry from infiltration by fake products. She also scored the Standards Organization of Nigeria high on enforcing regulations and maintaining high standards in Nigeria's cable industry. Adubi, who is also the Chief Operating Officer of Midcom Cables, stated that Nigerians now have sufficient access to high-quality made-in-Nigeria cables. And the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing says 221 billion naira has been disbursed to contractors as costs for the construction of 71 road projects completed in various parts of the country under the 2021 Sukuk bond funds. This was as it refuted allegations by some aggrieved contractors in an online publication that funds allocated to projects in the 2022 Sukuk fund were being delayed and placed into bank accounts. The rebuttal was issued in a statement titled, "For the Records, RE Allegation on 130 billion naira 2022 Sukuk Fund. Road contractors petition EFCC over non-payment of approved funds allocated to them by Ministry of Works staff," and signed by the director overseeing the Office of Permanent Secretary, Folorunsho Esan, on Wednesday. The ministry insisted that it completed the disbursement for the payment of executed contracts in the 2021 funding, adding that the payment ended in April 2022 and a total of 221 billion naira was paid. Esan stressed that payments for both years 2021 and 2022 could not be made concurrently as a matter of principle. As a point of clarification, He noted that the ministry has been using the so-called model for project financing since 2017 and at no time held funds for project payments.